All right, excellent. We're live. Welcome to this week's Classtime Facebook Educator Community webinar. In the next 10 minutes, I'm really happy to have a guest here today with us, Scott Houston, who has been working on various amazing content on our platform. And so we wanted to check in with him. What is he working on? Why is he working on this type of content? And how can you benefit from this and ultimately your students as well? So welcome, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Valentina. I appreciate it.
Excellent. So Scott, as we already pre-discussed, right? You've been currently or recently developing different types of questions that you call lesson plans. And so if we go into our search within Classtime in the library and you search for a lesson plan, there's a lot of
Hmm.
stuff that you've developed, right? So
Correct.
can you tell us maybe a bit, what is a lesson plan in your opinion, right? And why was it designed this way? Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about this?
Absolutely. So with all the distance learning that's been happening, a lot of people have been saying, like, how do we get this content out to the kids? We need something that's easy, that's quick, that can kind of be like one-stop shopping. So Classtime provides that because in a question set, I can put instructional videos straight from YouTube. So I've been focusing on math. And as I've been doing it with
Hmm.
math, there's tons of content on YouTube that will teach kids how to do just about anything out there. One of my favorites is Math Antics because it just really goes nicely in depth with the content and is interesting and engaging to the kids. Now, the other thing you can do on Classtime is in the window where you say, like, additionally, you can add more information, you can
Hmm.
include links. And stage 2 of the lesson plan is to make sure that kids can practice the math. So you can link to Khan Academy, you can link to iknowit.com, you can link to Math Playground, you can link to all these different places that will give kids the practice they need for math. And then the
Hmm.
last piece
Let's
of
take
the
a,
puzzle,
sorry to interrupt, sorry.
yeah,
So let's take a quick look at it. So I added one of your finding percentages lesson plan, right? And so you've
great.
been talking about this additional information. So the first question would be, as you said, like the links to like a video, including a video. Is that correct?
Correct. So, like, this is an example of one aspect of the video because with this one with percentages, there's three key concepts: how to find the part, how to find the whole, and how to find the actual percentage itself. So,
Hmm.
questions 1, 2, and 3 all have a different video that focus on different aspects of this. And then you'll notice in the in question 2 there, it'll say click on this link, and that'll take you directly to a place where you can practice.
Hmm. Very good. We'll see
Mhm.
this as a student in a second, right? But so
Yeah.
if we look at the structure, right, and you already started explaining it, what are we, what are we looking at? So you said you start with the videos, right? Correct?
Correct. And then you move into the practice piece, and then the
Hmm.
last 8 questions are the assessment piece. And so one of the ways that the questions were designed was to go from, can kids just do the basic math of it, to harder, more strategic thinking questions. Like, we're going to have them do find and correcting errors. We're going to have them do recognizing operations. We're going to have them do some things that are that higher level of thinking that the SBAC requires kids to do. So these are
Okay.
how the
Let's
questions
take a
were
quick
designed.
look at it, right?
Yeah, please.
So I'll log in now as a student. While I do this, all the lesson plans that Scott has developed for math are in a similar structure as you've just explained. Is that correct?
That is correct. In a lot of cases, there's only one video because the concept is relatively simple.
Hmm.
But in other cases, there might be 2 or 3, depending on how deep the content goes.
Hmm. I see. So as you mentioned before, you said, there's the video. In this case, this has three videos, right? So this is where the students are supposed to like learn about it, explore a bit, right? And then also
Yep.
can even link to different resources to practice.
Yep.
So for example, here, it will link you
Hmm.
to I Know It,
Correct.
which is
And then kids
another
are
app where you can work a bit on it, right?
exactly.
Interesting. And so then the idea would be that they watch the videos, they practice on these questions, and then they
Mhm.
move forward to what you said are some more practice questions within class time. Is that correct?
They're not really the practice, they're the assessment piece. So this
I,
is when the kids feel they understand it, then they're going to move to the last 8 questions on class time, and this is where the teachers will do their final assessment.
got it. And so you did mention some strategic thinking before, right? So
Yeah.
how does that come into, what does that mean really, and how do we see it when students are working on this?
Well, question 8 is perfect for that. So go to question 8. You were just on that. And so you'll see something like this. This is an example of finding and correcting errors. This is something the SBAC does on a fairly regular basis, where they have the kids evaluate the work of someone else and then say, this is where they made the mistake, or say, this is where they made the mistake, and then how to fix it. So it really depends. And on class time, you have a highlightable text feature where kids can be reading through the steps and then click where the error is made. So this is a great example of a problem that does something like that. And then
I
if you
see.
scroll down
Very
a little
nice.
bit, if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see that in the little word section on the bottom. Oh wait, no, this is this is your own copy. Never mind. I've made some changes, so
Oh,
it's okay.
okay. And the other ones are then the same types of strategic thinking, correct?
Yeah, are different kinds. Yeah, there's recognizing operations. There's comparison thinking. In some of them, you'll see some claims thinking. And so one of the things I've been working with school districts across the state is we are focused on helping students pass the SBAC, because right now, a lot of them are just prepared for the types of questions that are just like, can you do the computation, or can you do a
Mhm.
word problem? But the SBAC is
Mhm.
asking for a far deeper level of thinking, a strategic thinking, if you will, that I've been
Mhm.
helping teachers and principals identify.
Mhm. Interesting. Great. So a lot of these plans are now ideal also for summer school or self-practice for students, right? You can send them the link, they can watch the videos, they can practice in different resources if you added the link, and they can then also assess themselves. And obviously then as an educator, once you share this code, you will have all the results in and you can see how the students did on their understanding and strategic thinking.
Excellent. Yeah. And the wonderful thing about class time is not only can the teacher see the results, but the kids immediately know how they did, as long as the teachers don't have to like grade the type in ones at that time. So you've got some really great pieces that you can just choose from out here that are beneficial for both students and teachers in terms of
Mhm.
just the assessment.
Understood. So great. Thank you so much, Scott, for explaining. It's extremely interesting how you've structured and created a lesson plan around math. Maybe a final question. So as you see, if you go to your library and you search for a lesson plan, you'll find various question sets developed by Scott Houston. Can you tell us once more, like what will people find searching for a lesson plan? So it's math. What kind of grades are we looking at?
It's right now we've got them up there from 2nd to 6th grade, and they're all anywhere between 10 to 12 questions large. Um, and the first questions are always like, type in just to understand that you know what the video was saying. So, but I don't really count that as part of the assessment. That's just them saying, I paid attention and this is what I learned from the video. The questions that follow are the assessment that we actually do the grading from.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Scott. This was extremely interesting and also very inspiring. I'm sure for many other teachers, I'm sure many other math teachers, especially elementary math teachers, can profit directly from the content you've prepared. But also, I think that many other educators can get some ideas how to create a lesson plan where you have an introductory video, some assessment pieces, right, that students can, first of all, for themselves, see how they're doing, but also you as an educator can, of course, track their progress and give them the support that they need to build the next steps. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much, Scott. Really appreciated your time in this mini webinar, and I look forward to seeing a lot more great content in our public library. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too.